Hi everybody, this is Matt. Thanks for watching and welcome back. Well, many of you viewers have asked me questions about 1911s lately, and they seem to follow a very similar theme, where many of you state openly to me that you're confused about what model and brand to purchase based off of video reviews that you have seen. And the reviews, I agree, can be confusing because many times you'll see a review where somebody goes, "Oh, this one is great." And then some other reviewer goes, "Oh, it's horrible," so on and so forth. And it just keeps going back and forth, and it leads to confusion. Well, the thing is, when it comes to firearms, it's just like with cars. Everybody has an opinion. Some people like one brand, some people like another. Same thing's true of 1911s. But let me try to guide you a little bit as to what to look for. And we'll just start out with the only 1911 that I own, which is this right here. This is a Smith & Wesson Performance Center model. And this literally is the only 1911 that I own. The reason for that is because fairly expensive. I believe that this was somewhere in the $1,300 range was what it cost me. And that's expensive for me. It took years for me to be able to afford this. So I started with lower end models that were used, they were cheaper, and over a period of years I traded up to this because I don't have multiples of things. I stick with one and that there you have it. That's the way that it goes. I love having quality though, but it takes a while to trade up to it because I'm not rich. So there you go. Anyway, Smith & Wesson Performance Center, chambered in 45 ACP. The only thing that I would change on this, which eventually I will, are the sights. This has target sights and I will swap them out for something else. But this is a beautiful gun. It shoots extremely well. Everything about it is just machined exceptional. I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about this 1911. It is just a wonderful firearm for what it is. But opinions abound when it comes to 1911s. So what's a good brand? What might you look for? What might you avoid? Generally speaking, in the world of 1911s, you get what you pay for. It's just like with anything else, with tools and whatever. My first 1911 cost me less than $500. It was used. And today you can find a lot of 1911s and some good ones at that for just under $500. I've seen a couple of Rugers selling used in local gun shops for that kind of money. I would not hesitate to purchase something like that. Colt Manufacturing, they've come out with some updated 1911s that can be had for under $1,000. Springfield makes 1911s. Now I know there are a lot of Springfield haters out there right now, but if I owned a Springfield 1911, I would hold on to it. I wouldn't get rid of it. They're fine 1911s. The EMP series, very nice. They are extremely shootable, especially the 9mm ones. And if I had the money, I would own a Springfield EMP chambered in 9mm and I wouldn't think twice about it. From there, you can go north of $1,000 easily. You can go north of $1,500. I think the next thing on my list that I would love to have my hands on would be a Les Baer. But I don't know if that's in my future or not. I have seen brand new Les Baers selling for as low as $1,700, $1,800. I'd love to have one, but again, I've got something that already works for me. But that would, for me, that's the top of the mountain when it comes to a 1911. The thing is, I actually will shoot a 1911. So I'm going to shoot the Smith & Wesson, I would shoot a Colt, I would shoot a Springfield, or I would shoot a Ruger that I purchased. Now, what to look for as far as what I might shy away from, I've seen a couple of 1911s, used ones, in gun shops, less than $300. Now on those, I would probably shy away from them And the reason would just simply be the construction quality on them. I'm not going to name any brands or anything like that, but if you saw a 1911 for sale and it was under 300 bucks, I probably wouldn't buy it. 500 bucks for a used 1911, think about it. Now, when it comes to work, if you need something done on the 1911, unless you're really experienced with 1911, I wouldn't go modifying one doggone thing on it. I would take it to a gunsmith that I knew and I had confidence in that has dealt with 1911s a lot. Because as a case in point, this Smith & Wesson Performance Center, when I got it, there was a slight issue with the trigger. And I knew what it involved. It involved the mainspring. And all it needed was a little tweak. Just a little bit of movement, and that was all that it required. However, it's been so long since I have physically worked on a 1911 that I didn't feel comfortable doing it. So I took it to a gunsmith that specializes in 1911s, told him what I believed that was wrong with it, and he concurred. He made a couple of adjustments just with that spring, and it was good to go. That was it. But if I wanted custom work done on a 1911, if I wanted, say, the rails polished, anything like that, I would take it to a gunsmith. I would not take it to a kitchen gunsmith whatsoever. So that is my advice for you. 1911s can be, tuned up. They can be modified just, like any other firearm can be. I mean, a lot of race guns out there in the competition circuit are 1911s, right? Because they've got a fantastic trigger. But you can also take things a little bit too far, and I probably wouldn't do that. And especially if you're using it as something for personal defense, I definitely would not do anything like that. So anyway, I hope this helps. But the thing is, don't believe every review that you happen to see, because you're dealing with a lot of bias sometimes. And quite frankly, some reviews could potentially be influenced by what? Money. Because you don't know if somebody is paying somebody to actually do a review that turns into be an advertisement. I'm just a guy that has shot 1911s and other firearms for a long time, basically close to half a century. So even at that, I still have my own biases that are built in based upon what? My experience, just like you. So my experience is 1911s are wonderful firearms, but they do have to be maintained. And if you don't know how to take one apart, to disassemble it, to field strip it, and to clean it, then that's where you talk to a local gunsmith and you get a little bit of tutoring in that department, because you don't want anything go haywire with it, and you want to make sure that you're safe in everything that you do, right? But they are a wonderful gun. But one reason that you see a lot of the used ones out there that have less than 50 rounds in them is the owner decided, you know what? It's got a lot of moving parts. I don't really want to clean it. And that's what happens. It's as simple as that. So there are a lot of exceptional used 1911s out there that can be had for bargain prices compared to new. And quite frankly, I would rather let somebody else take the depreciation on it and pick something up that hasn't even had a box of rounds run through it. Because in 1911s especially, that happens a lot. You see that an awful lot at gun shops. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I wouldn't be shy of any particular brand, because Smith & Wesson makes good brands. Kimber makes good brand. Who else? Springfield, they make good ones. Ruger, Colt, they're like the original. Les Baer. There's so many good ones out there. Most modern manufacturers make really good guns. So anyway, hope this helps. And until next time, everybody, thanks for watching and have a good one. And of course, Be safe out there, please. Thank you.